You just got to work and realized you forgot the keys. My brain doesn't work, you think? Ha, we got you. You've just perfectly used your brain to say that your brain doesn't work. Many people think of the human brain as just a complex thinking tool, but its true nature is far more than that. Isn't it overwhelming to use your brain to realize that you know nothing of your own organ, which just made a decision for you? How does it actually work? In this book, called 7.5 Lessons About the Brain, written in 2020, a renowned neuroscientist, Lisa Feldman Barrett, presents 7.5 insights into the brain, blending neuroscience with psychology. The book holds a 4.05 rating out of 5 on Goodreads. Before we dive in, there is what Daniel Gilbert, the New York Times best-selling author, said about the book. A smart and delightfully breezy look at the things most of us think we know about the brain but don't. Now let's take a look into those lessons. The brain is not only for thinking.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
While it can sound obvious, sometimes we do tend to think that our brains are just thinking machines. Barrett reminds us that it was primarily evolved for regulating various processes in our bodies, predicting energy needs and survival, aiming to pass on genes. Basically, while you're thinking, your brain is multitasking to keep you alive at that moment. Your brain is a network. Instead of a strict compartmentalization where each part of the brain has a single purpose, the brain operates as a network where different parts can perform multiple tasks based on the situation. Our brain is an interconnected network of about 128 billion neurons. It's resource efficient with over 500 trillion connections. The network is adaptable, plasticity, with neurons adjusting based on experiences. The old three-brain theory posits our brain as a battleground of instincts, emotions, and rational thought. Though the reality is that the brain isn't segmented like layers. Evolution reshapes and reorganizes it. Infant brains wire themselves to their world. The brain is adaptable, especially in early years. Genes and environment together shape brain development. How it gets wired, to a large extent, depends on the experiences and environment it's exposed to. Infant brains undergo tuning, strengthening connections, and pruning, degrading seldom-used connections. Consistent nurturing is essential for optimal brain growth, as seen in the tragic Romanian orphanages case in the 1960s. Under the leadership of Nicolae Ceausescu, who ruled Romania, there was a will to increase Romanian population. Ceausescu passed Decree 770, which severely restricted abortion and contraception. Therefore, thousands of unwanted children were born. As a result, many families could not afford to raise them due to extreme poverty. So children were placed in state-run institutions. Many of them later suffered from attachment disorders, cognitive deficits, and other mental health issues, even after being adopted into loving homes. Your brain predicts almost everything you do. Rather than reacting to the world, our brain is always predicting what will happen next, using past experiences to make these predictions. For example, there is no need to put your finger in a fire to know that it will burn. That is needed for ensuring we aren't overwhelmed by current sensory data. That explains why the brain interprets reality rather than just absorbing it directly. The brain's primary objective is survival, not always accuracy. Your brain secretly works with other brains. Barrett delves into the social nature of our brains, explaining how deeply connected our minds are to other people's minds. We're always influencing and being influenced by others. In various parts of the brain mirror, neurons are found which fire both when a person performs an action and when they observe someone else doing the same action. This mirroring mechanism is believed to be crucial for understanding others' actions, intentions, and emotions. You have probably heard the saying that emotions can be contagious. When we see someone laugh or cry, our brain often responds in a way that evokes similar feelings in us. This isn't just about empathy, but also about the brain's ability to resonate with the emotional states of others. Brains make more than one kind of mind. This lesson discusses the diversity and adaptability of brains across different species and even among humans. Human brains have great variation, leading to unique abilities and perspectives across cultures. The combination of creativity, communication, copying, cooperation, and compression in human brains sets us apart from other species. Our brains can create reality. Our brains have the power to shape our perceptions and experiences of the world, often in ways that are influenced by societal beliefs and expectations. So the way you understand the world is just a perception that you call reality. This section is a reflection on the previous lessons discussing how understanding our brains can shape our perspective on various facets of life, from laws to love. When we realize that our brains often guess what's going to happen based on past experiences, it raises questions about whether our laws truly understand how our brains work and affect our actions. Understanding the brain's role in relationships can offer insights into empathy, compassion, and conflict. Throughout the book, Barrett challenges many popular misconceptions about the brain and presents a more nuanced understanding of our most complex organ. It's important to remember that our brains are not fixed but are constantly changing. That kind of means that you create yourself every day,